Hi there, this is David and happy Halloween! I thought that it might be fun to celebrate by looking at the top 10 spookiest areas in JRPGs. Normally your typical JRPG is light, happy, colorful, whimsical, and ethereal. But every so often they like to break from the mold and throw the characters into something much more dark, scary, and somber. Here, we're going to be looking at those, and because ghost ships are just so prevalent in these games, I've decided to specifically exclude those areas and then maybe look at them in a future list. So, let's go ahead and get started. Number 10. Pandora's Ruins of Secret of Mana. The entire kingdom of Pandora is kind of possessed, and the people there are turning into zombies. But it only gets worse once Vanna becomes possessed by Thanatos as well, and you have to chase her and Diluc into the ruins. The entire place is filled to the brim with monsters who are resistant to physical attacks, and the creepy music really sets the stage. When I was a kid and I originally played the game, I actually thought that this place would be the final dungeon, because the enemies were so hard, and Thanatos himself awaited you at the end. Imagine my surprise when he just ran off with your friends and pitted you against the demon wall instead. Number 9. The Castle of Aran in the 7th Saga. This is the first real dungeon that you come across in this brutally hard game, and the people of Lenoire Village tell you that they can hear a lone dog howling from the abandoned castle at night. It seems that a year ago, the king killed a boy over a dispute for a stone, and the boy's dog died of a broken heart, and now he haunts the castle. Only when you travel alone to the ghost-filled place and you put the spirit of Ramus to rest, will the people of Lenoire be able to sleep at night. This place always creeped me out as a kid too because of the difficulty and just the atmosphere of it all. Number 8. Chamba of Breath of Fire 4. I really like it when towns do something different, when they break away from the norm and they become more than just a respite between dungeons, and Chamba is just that. The vast majority of the town is polluted by the Hex, and as such, it's walled off and the purifiers have to go in to keep the monsters at bay. You're going to meet Urshan here as you split the party up and you travel within the Hexed zone up on the rooftops above and below with Urshan, all to get through the old, abandoned, and dead town. Number 7. Magus Castle of Chrono Trigger. There's something to be said for the ambiance here. Magus is set up as the game's titular villain, and the trek through his castle is one for the record books. While the castle itself isn't too hard, it's all the setup that goes into it that makes it just so compelling. The cutscene revealing the castle's dark, foreboding nature is stunning, and after you've made it through his 100 monsters, you'll find Magus himself at the end of a dark room lit only by his black candles. It's all so well done. Number 6. The Phantom Train of Final Fantasy VI. Poor Cyan! Not only did he lose his family and everyone he loved after Kefka poisoned his kingdom, but then he has to go and relive his pain as he rides away into the afterlife on the Phantom Train. The locomotive is filled to the brim with ghosts, both good and bad, and who can forget that scene where the ghosts have the entire party surrounded, and you can only escape by jumping to the other cars and detaching the possessed carts. But then, the whole thing culminates with a satisfying boss fight against the train itself. God, this really was when Final Fantasy was the top of their game. Number 4. Lenoire Castle of Dragon Quest V. For one of the very first dungeons in this game, there sure is a lot going on here. The king and queen are long dead and the castle is haunted. Interestingly though, you don't explore the castle from the ground up. Instead, you go top down, having Bianca get kidnapped along the way and almost getting eaten for dinner and getting lost in the pitch black of the basement. There's so much here, from the skeletons watching and reveling in the suffering of the poor souls that they're forced to dance for eternity, to the doors seemingly opening on their own. You can really tell that the designers put a lot of thought into this dungeon, and it is what made me fall in love with this game. Number 4. The Ancient Temple of Sword of Hope 2. This may be just a Game Boy game, but if there's one thing that this game can do right, it's provide a backstory and lore for each dungeon. From the second that you enter, you're hit with a blood-curdling cold breeze, only to then see bloodstains, creepy statues, vandalized caskets, and ghosts. The whole place just sends shivers down your spine, especially when you see that the great evil one was once sealed away there. However, it gets even worse when you leave, because you stumble across a massacre, and then you get a chance for revenge against the recently released Demon King. Number 3. Threed of Earthbound. I love all the towns in Earthbound. They're just so full of life. Only Threed is kind of full of death. The entire place is overrun by zombies, and the townsfolk pretty much cover together in the city center as the undead, emanating from the graveyard, march on the town. You would think that your intrepid heroes would be too smart to fall for the tricks of the dead, but then you would be wrong, because Ness and Paula are promptly captured by them and then sent to their graves themselves. It's only after that they're rescued by Jeff that they can free Threed from the curse and Master Belch's control. Number 2. The Nortshire Sewers of Xenogears. I really do absolutely hate this dungeon, but I can put that aside to tell you that it's probably one of the creepiest places that I've had the displeasure of visiting in a JRPG. While you're down there, the environment itself is out to kill you, and you're surrounded on all sides by encounters that can bring you down to 1 HP in a single hit. But if that's not enough, the place is a maze, and the only way to get out of it is to investigate murder scenes. 3 of them, to be exact. And all the while you're being stalked by the murderer too. The utter silence and multiple breakaways to Red Rum's viewpoint just cement this place as being creepy as hell. And finally, number 1, Zhaoyang Village of Shadow Hearts. This is a series that prides itself in being spooky. I mean, it's a horror JRPG after all. And while many areas are plenty creepy, I don't think anything can top the very first village that Yuri and Alice stumble across, as it's filled with shape-shifting cannibals who trap you inside the walls. Skeletons, skulls, and bones fill the altar, and after the illusion breaks, you see that the village streets are flowing with blood of the cannibals' victims. But there's no rest for the weary, as the only way to escape is to exorcise the demons who live there. Well, that's it for the top 10 spookiest areas in JRPGs. Hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and have a happy Halloween! If you like this video and what I do here on the channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. The link to it can be found in the video description. This has been David. If you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.